Chosen one, the news is very big, important for the new year. The moment has arrived. Not just any moment, but the kind that rearranges the air around your destiny. Something monumental is making its way to you, and not slowly, it's gathering speed. The winds are shifting, the clocks are aligning, and God has declared that this season, this new year, will not look like the years you've survived before. You've carried a weight in silence. You've been misunderstood, and the path you've walked was not built for the many. It was shaped for the few. And you, chosen one, are among the few. The announcement is not coming from the mouths of men, but from the breath of the Spirit. The news is very big, and it is crucial to what is ahead for you in the new year. This is not a time to turn away, to scroll past, or to second-guess what your spirit has already confirmed. Watch this video until the final word. Let it seep into the spaces of your soul that have been aching for confirmation, and write your warmest wishes in the comments, and write Amen along with the number 777. This is more than digital interaction. It is spiritual transaction. Every wish written, every word of faith, sends a ripple across the unseen. It energizes the universe, awakens what's been dormant, and declares that you are in agreement with the favor God is about to unfold. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Something has been concealed from you for a reason. Not because you weren't worthy to know it, but because the timing of its release required the maturity of your spirit to match the magnitude of the message. And now, as the new year approaches, what was once hidden is about to be broadcast by heaven. You will no longer be the last to know. This time, you are the first to be informed. The news is not small. It is not slight. It is big, so big, it requires a new year to carry it. So big, it requires your full attention. So big, it had to wait until the right hour struck on the divine clock. And that hour is now. You felt it, haven't you? That strange, internal trembling, like something powerful was pressing against the edges of your life, asking to be let in. It wasn't anxiety. It wasn't fear. It was the echo of prophecy waking you up. The reason it didn't make sense to others is because it wasn't meant for them. God whispered your name in rooms you've never entered. Heaven made decisions about your future while you were still learning how to heal from your past. That's why the announcement coming into your life now isn't catching God by surprise. It's been long planned. You are simply arriving at the appointed hour. And here's what makes it even more magnificent. It's not just one piece of good news. It's a chain reaction. One event that sets off another. A blessing that leads to another level. You are standing in front of a doorway that doesn't open to a single room, but to a hall of destiny lined with divine opportunities. The moment you step through, you'll realize this wasn't about just one breakthrough. It was about a cascade. It was about your name becoming aligned with favor. It was about heaven proving that your waiting was not in vain. You see, this isn't the kind of news that stops at the surface. It's not like the headlines you read in the world, temporary, shallow, gone in seconds. No, this news pierces the atmosphere. It moves things in the spirit realm. It causes hidden support to activate. It makes enemies silent. It reroutes what was stuck. And this is why it is being delivered now. Because you are finally ready to receive it without ruining it. You are now strong enough to carry it with grace, and not only carry it, but walk in it with the awareness that it was God who brought it to you, not man. And here's another truth. You've already been tested for it. That's why your past seasons felt so intense. God was preparing you without fully disclosing what He was preparing you for. That's why the pain didn't make sense. That's why the waiting felt endless. That's why you had to separate from certain people, cut off certain habits, silence certain doubts. He wasn't just building strength in you. He was building room. Room for the announcement. Room for the weight of what's now being delivered into your life. And now that it's here, it makes sense. Now that it's here, it clicks. You didn't miss it. Even though there were moments where you thought you might have. Even though your timing didn't match what you expected. Even though others moved ahead of you in public. The private preparation you've endured has made you more aligned with the divine agenda than they ever realized. And now that God is ready to speak, He's speaking clearly. He's saying this: New Year carries something big for you. And the importance of this news isn't just what it gives you, it's what it calls you into. It demands you to rise into a new identity. It urges you to step into a larger version of yourself. This is why you've been uncomfortable in your current space. It's not that something is wrong, it's that something bigger is coming, and your spirit is adjusting to make space. God never allows something this important to enter a life without stretching that life first. So if it's been tight, if it's been strange, if it's been heavy, that was the stretch. And now comes the shift. You won't need to force this. That's another confirmation. This news doesn't come with strain. It comes with divine flow. It doesn't need manipulation or human approval. It will prove itself. It will unfold itself. And as it does, you will feel the weight of it lifting you higher. You will see doors that once ignored you now beg for your presence. You will hear your name whispered in circles you never knew existed. Not because you chased them, but because the news God placed over your life chased them for you. Chosen one, there are no coincidences here. You were guided to this message for a reason. And if your spirit is stirring, it's because heaven is confirming the time. You've reached the new year, but more importantly, you've reached a new spiritual year. A reset in the heavens that signals a new mission on the earth. This isn't just a personal upgrade. This is a divine assignment being announced, and your soul was built for this moment. There's a moment when time stops moving the way it used to. You look around, and even though the calendar days are still flipping, your soul knows something deeper is shifting. That's what's happening to you now. The atmosphere around your life has become electric, not with chaos, but with divine instruction. Everything that seemed random is suddenly clicking into place. Things you buried long ago are resurfacing, not to haunt you, but to heal you. Because the truth is, this news you're about to step into isn't just about your future. It's about rewriting your past through the lens of divine purpose. You weren't rejected. You were redirected. You weren't forgotten. You were preserved. All the waiting rooms you sat in weren't holding you back. They were holding you together until the right season arrived. And now, it has. This new year isn't just another cycle of resolutions and resets. It's a divine checkpoint, a portal moment, a threshold that separates who you were from who you are about to become. And God is very intentional about the souls He alerts in this season. If you're hearing this message, it means the heavens have already cleared your path and assigned angels to watch your steps. There is favor that's been orbiting your name, waiting for the green light from God. And guess what? The light just turned green. What felt stuck is about to start flowing. What felt delayed is suddenly on the fast track. You are not crazy for sensing acceleration even when nothing around you looks different yet. The spiritual realm always shifts before the physical catches up, and right now, the spiritual is in motion. Heaven's systems are releasing data about you, and the earth has no choice but to respond. Some people think breakthrough happens all at once, but for you, chosen one, it's going to look like a series of confirmations. First, the little things will start aligning. You'll get that unexpected message. You'll feel that inner peace returning. You'll notice the old stress no longer affects you the same way. Then the bigger signs will follow. The money, the opportunity, the move, the phone call, the face-to-face meeting that changes everything. You will begin to realize that the news wasn't just an announcement, it was a key, and you are unlocking every door it was meant to fit. You've lived through enough closed doors to understand the difference between rejection and divine redirection. That wisdom will serve you now, because as the doors start opening, you'll walk through them with discernment. You won't have to wonder if it's too good to be true. You'll know it's good because God is in it, and what God initiates, no man can block. This new year, you are not walking in hoping for luck. You are walking in carrying confirmation. God is not sending you into this year empty-handed. He is equipping you with divine resources that have been stored for a time such as this. These are not ordinary blessings. They're personalized, tailored to the blueprint of your soul. That's why it took time. That's why it required silence. That's why it demanded faith. Because this blessing is not coming to blend in. It's coming to announce that a shift has taken place. And here's what's even more powerful. You will begin to notice that people around you sense something has changed, even if they can't name it. You'll walk into rooms and the atmosphere will shift, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because the energy around you has been authorized by God to elevate. That means conversations will start to change. Relationships will start to reflect your growth. Some things will fall away, and it won't even hurt, because your spirit will know elevation requires elimination. This is the kind of news that breaks generational cycles. It changes the trajectory of families. It untangles the patterns you thought you were stuck in for life. This is the kind of news that answers prayers you stopped praying because you thought it was too late. But God is saying, I never needed your timeline. I only needed your trust. And now that you're still standing, now that you didn't give up, He's ready to reward your endurance. What's coming will not look like what you've seen before. That's why it's important to stay spiritually awake. You can't measure this next season by old metrics. It's not about repeating what worked last year. It's about stepping into what's never been done in your bloodline. You are the first. You are the breaker of limits, the expander of vision, the activator of legacies. And that's why the news is very big. Because it changes not just your story, but the stories connected to you. There is no part of your past that will be wasted. God is folding everything you've experienced into the architecture of this announcement. Even your scars will shine in this season, not as marks of pain, but as symbols of survival. You didn't make it this far by accident. Every attack you overcame, every delay you endured, every tear you cried in silence, it's all a part of the reason you are qualified to carry this news. And now, something else is being added to the equation: restoration. Not just receiving something new, but recovering what was lost. The years the enemy tried to steal, they're being returned in abundance. The relationships that left you confused, they're being replaced with alignment. The opportunities that slipped through your fingers, they're being restored with upgrades. You will not enter this new year as the same version of yourself. You are entering with clarity, with favor, with heavenly authority. You'll notice it in your thoughts first. New ideas, new inspiration, new clarity. Then your emotions will follow. More peace, more confidence, more joy. Then your environment will begin to mirror it. The phone call comes, the payment clears, the right person appears. You're not imagining this. You're not overhyping anything. You're finally experiencing the result of years of spiritual investment. And the yield is about to be massive. Heaven is rolling out the scroll, and your name is on the script. You are part of something divine and very real. You are walking proof that God does not forget. You are evidence that delay does not mean denial. And now, with the new year unfolding before you like a celestial map, all signs are pointing forward. No more looking back. No more waiting for permission. No more shrinking to make others comfortable. This is your season to be fully seen, fully backed, and fully favored. There's a frequency in the atmosphere that only the spiritually tuned can detect. It doesn't make noise, but it makes movements. It doesn't speak in words, but it announces everything. And right now, that frequency is locked onto you. This is how God begins a new chapter in the life of a chosen one, not by shouting over the noise of the world, but by aligning everything around you so the message becomes undeniable. That alignment is happening now. The environment is shifting. The tension you felt isn't pressure, it's positioning. Even the delays were part of the orchestration. Think about it. If you had moved when you wanted to, if the door had opened too early, you would have been present without being prepared. But now you're prepared and present. Now your heart is clearer. Your discernment is sharper. Your ability to recognize what's divine and what's deceptive has matured. You're not stepping into this with blind faith. You're stepping into this with spiritual precision. And that's why this moment is so big. Because it's the result of heaven waiting for you to become what was promised to you. This isn't a test anymore. That season is over. You've already proven your resilience. You've already demonstrated your loyalty. You've already been through fire and came out without the smell of smoke. So now, the fire is not a threat to you. It's a signal to others that you've been refined. This is why people are starting to look at you differently. They don't know what's changed, but something about you carries a new weight. That's spiritual authority. It doesn't beg to be seen. It causes the atmosphere to respond when you walk into the room. And now the doors are opening. Not one, not two, but multiple. That's the effect of divine timing. What once was a trickle is becoming a flood. Not a flood of chaos, but a flood of blessings, of connections, of opportunities, of insight. You won't need to force any of it. You won't have to chase. The current is moving in your favor now. And God is not just opening doors randomly. He is opening the right doors. The kind that come with peace, not confusion. The kind that come with confirmation, not contradiction. This is what you've been feeling in your bones. A building energy that refuses to be contained. It's not hype. It's not fantasy. It's prophecy, approaching fulfillment. And not just in theory, in reality. Real shifts, real rewards, real reversals, real restoration. The kind of changes that make people say, "How did that happen so fast?" But you'll know. You'll remember the years when it was slow. You'll remember the months when it was silent. You'll remember the nights when it was only you and God. And that memory will keep you grounded when the elevation begins. And don't be surprised when certain people fall off during this rise. Some were only assigned to your wilderness, not your promised land. God is not being cruel. He's being clear. The next chapter has new characters. The next level has new language. And you can't hold on to what's expired just because it once made you feel safe. What's coming will stretch you into new spaces, and God will surround you with those who don't just celebrate you. They see you. Not for who you used to be, but for who heaven has declared you are now. This is also the season where hidden enemies are exposed. Not because you went looking for them, but because the light of God on your life makes it impossible for darkness to remain disguised. Some masks will fall off effortlessly. Some hands that clapped for you were really covering their jealousy. But don't waste your energy on betrayal. The betrayal was allowed so that you would stop seeking validation from the wrong places. You no longer need the crowd's applause. You've already been approved in the courts of heaven. And now, the blessing that was held up is being released. The check is in motion. The property is in review. The email is drafted. The offer is being finalized. The transfer is already on the books. The pieces are not going to come together. They already are. You're walking into rooms that were waiting for your presence to unlock their potential. And here's what's wild. You won't need to explain yourself. Your presence will speak for you. Your glow will announce that you've been with God. Chosen one, the divine decision has already been made. You're not under consideration anymore. You're under release. The signal has been sent. The timing has been cleared. The new year isn't introducing a new you. It's revealing the real you. The version of you that's been developing in silence. The version that's been underestimated, overlooked, and misunderstood. That version is now rising. Not in arrogance, but in authority. This authority isn't loud. It doesn't dominate. It doesn't seek attention. But it commands respect, because it comes from God. And the world responds differently to those who carry divine backing. You'll notice it in how people speak to you, in how opportunities find you, in how closed paths suddenly reopen. You'll start hearing your name in conversations you weren't invited to, but you were expected. Because when heaven releases your name, it moves faster than algorithms, faster than marketing, faster than anything you could manufacture on your own. And this is why you couldn't give up. Because God was preparing to put you in a position where your very existence would shake atmospheres. Not by effort, but by alignment. Not by popularity, but by purpose. You were never chasing the spotlight. You were being shaped for it. And now the light is about to find you. Not for show, but for impact. The world doesn't need another echo. It needs your original sound. And heaven is making sure your voice gets amplified in the right ears. Let this message settle into your bones. You are already in the transition. The shift isn't ahead of you. It's happening around you. The signs are everywhere. The silence is ending. The evidence is appearing. The breakthrough is loading. The people you're meant to meet are being positioned. The places you're meant to walk into are being cleared. And God is speaking, not in riddles, but in revelation. This is not the time to look down. This is the time to lift your eyes and see what's being delivered. You are not just carrying potential anymore. You are carrying promise. And the promise is no longer pending. It's active. The new year didn't just change your calendar. It activated your calling. It released the weight of your weight. It finalized what's been in spiritual escrow. And now, you're being pulled into divine manifestation. Quickly, clearly, powerfully.